Talk about a trip with a difference. Usually there's a chill wind blowing across training sessions at Booth Ferry Park. In Sofia's Levski Stadium, it's the 90-degree heat that presents a problem on the first day. Within 18 hours of arriving in Bulgaria, the players are heading up into the mountains for their first match in an unpronounceable town and against an unpronounceable team with their own version of cheerleaders.
Same back four I played last year.
It is pre-season training. We've got 18 players. You 11 are starting the match. I'll change your end as I see fit. Okay? You get out there and you play, and you enjoy it, and you work hard. Any problems? No? Come on then, let's go.
The locals are excited. They've never seen an English team before, and there is one more pre-match ritual to be observed. The local tradition is to offer visiting teams bread and salt, which produces a few quizzical looks. The opposition, Septem Varishka, finished 8th in the second division last season. Hull are expected to beat them. But the pitch is bumpy. The local referee isn't giving Hull any help either, and despite a bright start, the Tigers are soon in trouble. They concede a penalty after only 20 minutes. 1-0, and by half-time the match is as good as over, with Hull 3 down. It certainly didn't look like being their day when Lee Palin somehow contrived to head over instead of under the crossbar. And it wasn't. The 3-1 defeat left Hull's players feeling rather low.
It's very frustrating, I mean, because, you know, I mean, there's little off-the-ball incidents. I mean, people don't really see it, you know, they're spitting in your face and, you know, they're giving you, you know, things like that going on. You can't retaliate because you know if you do anything, you'll be off straight away.
Hardly the start Hull wanted, but it's still early days, in every respect.
Oh well, Buck. Only 6 days to go.
Yeah, 5 more days of cheese.
Good night.
Good night, Ed.
Bulgaria is certainly a land of contrast with far more to offer than you might imagine. For example, if you don't fancy going to Val d'Isère this year, how about Borovets? Here it is, one of half a dozen exclusive ski resorts in the country, and all of them less expensive than those in Western Europe. There's a very plush hotel down here with 2,000 bedrooms. Mind you, you won't find Hull City staying here. Skiing's just a little bit precarious for pre-season training. But you will find the former Hull City chairman, Don Robinson, ever the opportunist and always a man with an eye for potential.
We're going to build a 1,000 holiday village here on the ski resort. And down on the Black Sea, we're building a golf course. The joint ventures with the Bulgarian government. I think there's a lot of opportunities here. It's more like the gold rush.
How prestigious is it for Hull City to have been the first British club to have been invited over?
Oh, it's fantastic for Hull City. Do you mean from coming out here? The Levski, who we're playing on Saturday, now Levski is the Manchester United of Bulgarian football.
It's a match to be taken very seriously, the focal point of the tour. And in training for it, Hull are joined by 15-year-old Asparu Dimitrov. If the Christian name sounds familiar, well, so it should to football fans. Aspie is named after the late Georgi Asparukov, the most famous Bulgarian footballer of all time. Aspie is on schoolboy forms with a club in England, but not Hull.
I want to play for Chelsea, but if it's possible, we'll see. I must play good.
Footballers always have to play good because the stakes are so high.
I'll go 1,000. And raise another 1,000. You bluffing or what, Buff? I'll stay.
Is that right, Buck? If we win tomorrow night's game, we've got to come back and defend it? Next year? Don't worry, there's only 5 days to go, isn't there?
Starting with the match against Levski, this isn't their new sweeper, by the way. Time for reflection on what's been and to think of the task ahead. So far, Levski have been perfect hosts, but they'll want to beat their English guests.
4 days to go.
The Levski Football Club has laid on the team coach and made all the preparations, including training facilities.
I can't see there being that. We just usually get more people around at this time.
They are Bulgaria's most popular club, with facilities that would put many English clubs to shame. Now for the ambassadorial part of Hull's trip.
No charge. You've got
The fans clamour for English souvenirs, and they clamour too for news of English football.
Has there been a lot of interest in Bulgaria about Hull City's visit?
Yeah, I think so, because too many Bulgarians really like English football. Most of them support Liverpool, Man U, and Arsenal, Chelsea. Chelsea, I think, is one of the favorite teams in the Levski supporters, because they play blue shirts. But for Hull, we never, I think we don't know too much about them. Maybe tonight we know most about them.
And indeed, it wasn't long before they did learn something about the Yorkshire visitors. A neat build-up down the left involving fullback Les Thompson and midfield man Palin produces a moment of genuine quality. Palin's shimmy opens the door, his shot is too strong for goalkeeper Zdravkov, and it's a simple tap-in goal for Dave Bamber. Though only one young fan seems suitably impressed. Goalkeeper Ian Hesford may be counting the days, but he's determined that Levski won't be counting the goals. An equaliser wasn't long delayed though, and in keeping with the goals conceded in the first match, it's an absolute giveaway. The scorer, George Donkov. It's enough to drive a manager mad.
No chances!
But the message fell on deaf ears. Within minutes, a clanger of even greater proportions presented Petar Hubchev with the easiest goal of his or anybody's career. Hull were up against it again. Even so, this is a distinctly improved performance, and seconds from the end, Ken Demange almost sent the game into extra time. A la Jeff Hurst. No goal this time though, and the George Asparukov Trophy stays in Sofia.
Well, it was a much better pitch for a start, much better stadium. The lads we knew it was a better side. The lads were a little bit more keyed up, I think.
But you do want to win now, would think, in your last match. You don't want to go home losing all three.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Nobody likes losing, like, you know. But
without you to get fit and hopefully that's what will happen after the end of the 3 games.
3 games, eh?
Okay. I think you've earned a beer tonight now.
I think we'll have,
we'll have
yeah.
1 or 2 maybe.
Not too many.
Levski's hospitality extends well into the evening. The dancers are from Leningrad, but if there has been a drawback for some of the players, it's been the food. Have you actually found anything you've enjoyed?
Not really. To be fair, they're not really a very wealthy country. I think. I mean, what we're paying like the equivalent of about 3p for a drink over here, 30p for a bottle of beer. And that's the most. I mean, you feel sorry for them in a way. I mean, this is by far the best meal that we've had so far. I mean, it's been very similar. Everything we've had, it's been like a salad, a little bit of meat that's been a bit dubious as to where it's originated from. But I don't know. You've got to just eat it and get on with it. Otherwise, you're going to start losing weight and you're not going to have no energy. You just get on with it.
You just need to adapt to it the best as you can. Like all the boys are in the same boat together. So
when you get home, where's the first port of call going to be?
local chip shop.
Bulgaria is a very poor country in the middle of political and social upheaval. For example, in the few days we've been here, there's been a new president elected and inflation has rocketed by 100%. Petrol has gone up to 45p, which is why we often find that motorists switch off their engines and cruise. Now, to us, everything is ridiculously cheap. We had a slap-up meal, 7 of us the other day, for a mere £28. Yes, just £4 a head, and really, it was very good. And this cherryade, which is flavour of the month, is 1p, exactly 1p. And we knew the language would be different, but we didn't realise that yes meant no, and no meant yes. James Bond film here, Dr. Yes. Noddy actually shakes his head, and in the hit parade you will find, no, there are yes bananas. Cheers. But in one respect, Bulgaria is no different to any other country. Sunday is a day for taking it easy, and contrary to what you might expect, there are many breathtaking locations to do just that. The whole management team has gone high into the Vitosha Mountains for their relaxation. The frenetic world of football seems a million miles away.
It's your turn to get the coffees anyway.
It's an opportunity to discover more about Bulgaria's history and culture and to learn how the momentous changes of the past few months are taking effect. There are very few churches in Sofia, but manager Stan Turnant and his assistants, Tom Wilson and Mick Doherty, all regular churchgoers, do manage to find a Russian Orthodox church for their Sunday worship. It's at the picturesque Dragilevtsi Monastery, a fascinating alternative to the churches at home. But then this is all part of the intrigue of being somewhere completely different.
Oh, lovely drop of cherryade, that. Never mind. Only 3 days to go.
But not for Malcolm Shotton. He's on his way home, 48 hours ahead of his teammates.
Mal, what's the problem?
Got a slight stomach muscle problem. I think it's better now, and the boss thinks it's better now to get it sorted out before the season starts.
Big disappointment for you though at the start of a season.
Very much so, yeah. It's a bitter blow. I mean, you know, you work hard in pre-season and get yourself fit, and it's been there for a little while, and it's, you know, it's not getting any easier. So I think it's better sorting out before.
Those left behind are subjected to the most gruelling training session yet.
Nothing easy about this, pal.
And their reward is an afternoon off. Russ Wilcox is for the high dive, in the best possible sense.
Pathetic. No mark at all.
0.1.
Still the back column.
Les Thompson gives us his impression of the dog paddle. For the less energetic, it's an opportunity to visit an open-air market, to drink in the atmosphere and to polish up on the local knowledge. Then to go in search of Bulgarian bargains.
Look at that one, please. This one here.
That's getting out wealthy. Yeah.
How much is that?
It's been almost impossible for the lads to spend any levies. That's the national currency, by the way. Even the gifts for the folks back home are relatively inexpensive. So, T-shirts and cuddly toys in hand for no more than a £5. It's time for refreshment.
It's going to be quite this. Thank you.
Anyway, the last game tomorrow, get it over with, then we can get back on. Come on.
That third and final game is in Veliko Turnova, 250 kilometres from the team's headquarters. That means another long journey by coach on a swelteringly hot day. At least the air conditioning is working now, but the patience of one or two players is just beginning to wear thin.
Well, I ate it, and I want to come home.
2 days to go.
Velika Turnova is the old capital of Bulgaria, with a population of 80,000. It's almost quaint and a welcome change from the modern capital. It was outside the old presidential palace that the man responsible for Hull's visit gave me his view of its success.
I think that we need to arrange more trips for English teams in Bulgaria, and I think that we need to arrange the same for Bulgarian teams to visit England.
In the current spirit of perestroika, do you think it has helped to break down barriers between the two countries?
Yes, I think that visits like this break the barrier between Bulgaria and England.
You must feel very happy about the fact you're able to speak with much more freedom nowadays.
Yes, it's true. Everybody in Bulgaria is happy to speak more and to use this freedom and this independence which we have now.
Yes, that really does say at our turnover against Hull City, as if you didn't know.
There's one thing I've learnt on this trip, and that's that any football club on a pre-season tour runs into any amount of problems. Well, Hull City have certainly run into one today. Stan Turner's down to the bare bones with his team. Mally Shotton's had to go home. Neil Buckley's injured, so is Wayne Jacobs. But Stan has been lucky to call upon a late replacement. Cometh the hour, cometh the 48-year-old substitute. Stan, I can hardly believe this. Is it for real?
Yes, it's for real. Can you see that big one there with the blonde hair?
The big number 6? Well, hang on a minute, I'll take the glasses.
He is the one that
Number
you're going to
6.
stop playing tonight.
I'll sort him out.
Okay.
I'll put him out of the game for you.
Hold that stomach in and
Tuck
take
it in.
those glasses off and get out there and enjoy yourself, John.
I'll do it. I'll do my best for you. Up the
Best of luck.
Tigers.
Yes!
Hull have certainly come well prepared to please the young souvenir hunters. And just to give you some idea as to the strength of the opposition, Etar finished third in the Bulgarian First Division last season and only a couple of years ago qualified for Europe. Among their previous visitors were Juventus and Bayern Munich. And they soon had Hull backpedalling. Once more, a defensive blunder set the visitors back. For the second time in 3 games, Ian Hesford found himself facing a penalty.
Get it in, Kenny, get it in.
1-0, and Hull have it all to do under the floodlights in the second half. And they make a good fist of it, improving all the time. And achieving what they've set out to do on the trip, get themselves fit for the league campaign ahead. A number of substitutes are used, thankfully for Hull that didn't include me, and it's one of them, Scot Paul Hunter, who emerges as a real hero with a brilliant solo goal. Hull earn themselves a creditable draw.
Have a seat. Second half was excellent. Much, much better. They'll cheat you, they'll spit on you, they'll elbow you, all the things that we talked about. You've handled it well in the second half. All right? Got a lot of fitness out of the trip. Playing in these conditions, it can only stand us in good stead. Leeds on Saturday, all right? Get changed as quick as you like, and we're off ski in 15, 20 minutes. Well done.
We've been out here 6 days now. I think in the end it showed, that we've got used to the conditions. I think it will stand us in good stead when we get back to England.
Overall, then, you think the trip's been worthwhile, do you?
I think so, yeah. Obviously, the lads are glad to get back home. Obviously away from the families, the friends and the kids, But, overall, I think it's been a good trip.
You've certainly seen a different side of life, haven't you?
That's right. I think we'll look back in, 2 or 3 years' time, and, I think we'll look back at it and say we've enjoyed it.